What is going on, guys? This is my first official YouTube video. So if you're seeing this, I probably have hair by now and I hopefully look a lot better. What I'm going to be showing you in this video is how to lose 10 to 15% off of your body fat, gain muscle, and get stronger without giving up any of your favorite foods like burgers, pizza, or french fries in as little as 90 days. Now you may be thinking to yourself, that's bullshit. That sounds way too good to be true. And you're right. Quite frankly, it does sound too good to be true. But I'm going to break down not only why it's feasible for you, but why it's very possible. And this is not a cookie cutter fad diet or some bullshit app program from an influencer. And I'll prove it by showing you how I help my clients TJ, Chris, and Jake lose up to 15 to 60 pounds and gain up to 25 pounds of muscle using my process. And they all did this using this exact method I'm about to share with you. Now you may be thinking, okay, well, just because it worked for them, is it going to work for me? This system is so repeatable and so effective that I not only think it could work for you, but could also work for your mother. That's how confident I am in my protocol, in my method. And I'm about to drop so much value. So stay tuned. You are not going to want to miss this video. All right, let's get the video started. This video is for men and women who want to sustainably achieve their dream bodies and have a process that's repeatable forever. Let's get right into it. My promise to you is that I will help you lose 10 to 15% of your body fat, build muscle, and get stronger in the next 90 days. This is without giving up your favorite foods like burgers, pizza, or french fries, spending hours in the gym, or wasting time doing cardio. On top of that, I will guarantee that you will not gain this weight back. And once you're done with the process, you'll have a process that's repeatable over and over again using what I coin the peak performance protocol. The best part is if it doesn't work for you, I'll give you all of your money back and send you $50 so you can get a pizza on me. So before I show you the 3 clients that I'm going to break down, I want to show you my journey in case you don't know me. We'll make this quick. My name is Hunter, and I'm going to show you how I went from 125 pounds to 210 pounds while gaining 40 plus pounds of muscle and losing body fat, and how I replicated it for over 400 other people, both in person and online. First, I want to show you my many before and afters. First, I was an overweight kid at the beginning. That's where my starting point was. So I have all of the traumatic things that have to go along with that. I was bullied for my weight. The next image there is when I decided to starve myself and lose as much weight as possible, which I'll get into later. That developed multiple eating disorders and problems. I lost over almost 80 pounds in the most unsustainable and illogical way possible. After that, COVID came around and I decided to try to bulk up and had no idea what I was doing or how to hit the gym whatsoever. So here you can see in that third photo, I'm skinny fat and I hated my body. After that is when I started hiring bodybuilding coaches and mentors to try to teach me their ways. I decided that it wasn't really for me. Bodybuilding was a very short-term goal. I definitely wouldn't call myself a bodybuilder. I was a collegiate athlete. Use the bodybuilding training principles that I learned, now make my own peak performance protocol, which combines the style of bodybuilding training and the recovery and nutrition of a college athlete. So in this photo right here, I bulked up pretty big from that beginning photo. Then after that, I kept going, and then I kept going in that final bottom right photo. I'm gonna show you where I am today. After multiple back injuries, a lot of setbacks. I gotta move the camera so you can see my leg. Not too bad, right? So from here, the reason why I say it's repeatable, scalable, and sustainable and effective is because I was able to transform my body from 3 different stages of being advanced to even more advanced at the last photo where I am today. I was big, but sort of not lean. And then I got bigger, but wasn't where I wanted to be lean-wise. So then I kept going and repeating the process, and I eventually was able to carve out my dream physique, which is what I have today. I have zero desire to get any bigger or any stronger with the current physique that I have. And you can do that too. I'm not special. I don't have a special genetic code or a special genetic thing that makes me better than you. I was in your shoes. I was both very thin and very overweight, and I was able to conquer both with the peak performance protocol. To give you more background about how I implemented P3 into my life, I will first break down my story very briefly. Like I said, I started off as a fat kid around 190 pounds at 5'5", constantly made fun of for being overweight. And on top of that, I had something called gynecomastia. And if you don't know what that is, it's because my testosterone when I was young spiked at a really high level and caused my hormones to be thrown off balance. I had enlarged breast tissue, which I'm not ashamed about right now. I'm not ashamed about talking about it right now. But at the time, I was teased for having puffy nipples. Kids would literally in the hallways flick my nipples and tease me. Some kids would even call me fucking piggy. Kids would call me fucking tubby. And then when I went to high school and middle school, I kept this anxiety around me about my weight and my body. Even though I became an athlete, I was constantly still tugging my shirt, pretending as if I still had fat. Those things left a mental scar that never got healed. I actually never took my shirt off despite having abs in high school because I starved myself in front of anyone until I was 17 years old, guys. Not one pool party, not one family gathering until I was 17 years old. This caused me to develop terrible eating habits. I would often run 8, 10, even 13 miles just to feel like I was doing something. My mother would make me the most beautiful meals to bring to school every day. And as soon as I would get to school out of her sight, I would throw them away or hide them in my locker and not eat them during lunch because I didn't want any of the kids seeing me eating food. I thought that not eating would be the key fix to what I was worried about, making me finally skinny. I even hopped on V-Shred. And if you don't know what V-Shred is, it's like those abs in 30-minute bullshit courses. And I used my mom's credit card and I didn't tell her because I was so desperate to get the results that I was looking for. I even tried being vegan during basketball season to reduce inflammation and try to get abs, and even that didn't work. So when I graduated high school, I decided enough was enough. I need to hire mentors or coaches and finally achieve the body that I think I deserve. But it didn't end there. Once I hired these mentors and coaches, it was hard to implement these things. I kept looking at influencers who looked better than me and these new fad diets and cut diets that kept coming out every single week. So I ended up dirty bulking, which I don't recommend to anybody, but it worked for me because I was able to use the peak performance protocol to rebound off of that. I dedicated 5 years of my life to earning and learning the knowledge that it takes to be a great fitness coach. Then I discovered what I now coin as the peak performance protocol. Started dropping body fat in these images you can see to the right, and I started gaining muscle at the same time. In that photo right there in the top right, I'm actually heavier in the one on the right than I am on the left. I met some amazing mentors, shout out my boy Mitch, who helped me learn how to be a proper personal trainer and coach and tend to all of my clients' needs, whether they're 65 years old or 25 years old, whether they're a man or a woman. And I use my background understanding the pain of being both skinny and fat to help these people on a deeper level. So I got my National Academy of Sports Medicine certification to be a trainer. I used my knowledge from my bodybuilding mentors. And over 210 personal client transformations later, guys, I began posting my journey on TikTok and my daily struggles to see if people could gravitate towards me and relate. I just wanted to inspire as many people as I possibly could and help them from making the same mistakes that I did. This is what led me to online coaching, where I can take that dream of helping others and take it to the next level. So what is my mission with you watching this video? Fitness literally saved my life. I had no direction. I did not want to go to college. I had no idea what I was doing in my life. I didn't even know what I liked or didn't like. My days after COVID were spent mindlessly playing video games, doing night shift jobs that I hated as a security guard, wrecking my brain with quick dopamine hits, and consistently gaining body fat. And it was all on me. But guess what? Fitness was also all on me. The changes that I made to my diet and my training and my mentors told me to implement directly reflected in my real life, and I could see them in real time. It was finally the only thing in my life that I felt that I had control over. And I'm extremely passionate about helping others feel this same power that I feel, where I have control over how my body looks and when it looks the way it does. You will skip years of trial and error and all the misinformation that I gathered, that I filtered through. Guys, I personally believe that fitness is the first step, the key outlet in unlocking your true best self in your life. Name one successful person that you truly look up to in all areas of your life and tell me if they're fit or not. Exactly. I do want to help advanced lifters get even better in all areas of their life. And I want to help athletes be great too. But I also want to make fitness digestible for the average person like you. And I want to inspire millions of people to seek health in their higher selves. Because whether you've been going to the gym for 3 years or going for 0 months, it doesn't matter. You can see with that message my client John sent me on the right, I am trying to get you to invest in yourself, not in any program. Before we get into the details, I want to show you 3 clients and take you through their journeys so I can describe the peak performance protocol in a way that's digestible for you. So again, my name is Hunter, or you probably know me as Hunter Fit. I'm going to show you how I help Jake, Chris, and TJ lose up to 20 to 60 pounds and 10 to 15% of their body fat in 90 days only, while also getting the most muscular builds they've ever had in their lives with P3. These are their before and afters. They're pretty drastic, but they've been able to repeat this process over and over again to get their dream bodies. And that's why it worked. As you can clearly see here, Chris went from skinny fat to ripped, TJ went from overweight to now lean and muscular, and Jake went from stick thin, where I was, to muscular and lean at the same time. Before getting any further, I want to break down who this is for. So if you're looking to lose over 10% of your body fat while building aesthetic muscle, like I've promised before, in a repeatable long-term fashion, this is for you. If you're feeling lost and really need a blueprint on how to reach your goals, not like the normal cookie cutter programs that you see going around, something that's effective, simple, and enjoyable for you, then this is for you. If you want to burn fat and build muscle without giving up any of your favorite foods or doing crazy cardio and spending hours in the gym, this is for you. If you are very frustrated with your results, seeing all these fad diets, influencer programs, apps, and cardio programs, useless cuts and bulks, and you're tired of spinning your wheels, this is for you. And last but not least, if you feel like you have the potential and the work ethic to become the best version of yourself that you have not seen yet, but you feel like you're lacking the plan and accountability to do so, then this is for you. Now let's break down, quite frankly, who this is not for. If you want to stay stuck in a cycle, constantly spinning your wheels, repeating the same analysis paralysis, traditional methods of fat loss and muscle gain that you've seen in magazines since your freaking mother was 10 that yield zero results instead of a proven system that I've developed, then this is not for you. If you're looking for a quick fix, something that's going to patch your problems in 2 seconds, don't feel like you want to put the work in and actually get into the best shape of your life, this is not for you. You may as well click off now. If you're not willing to spend at least 4 hours a week in the gym, that's right, only 4 hours a week, then this is simply not for you. And lastly, if you do not believe that you can become the best version of yourself deep down inside, this is not for you. I'm gonna make my camera smaller so I can show you all of the slides and break down exactly the truth about losing weight that no one will tell you. The truth is you actually can burn a ton of fat and build muscle without doing any cardio or giving up any of the favorite foods that you know and love. This may sound like some miracle drug, but this is just science, and let me break it down for you. The reason most men and women can't do this is because they don't know how to track calories effectively and macros. They cannot optimize their training in the gym to reflect the results that they want, and they cannot implement a plan that is long-term and sustainable because they can't find a system that progresses over time. But don't worry, I'm not gonna let that happen to you because you're watching this video. I'm gonna help you track, optimize, and implement all of those steps so you can burn fat and build muscle at the same time. Firstly, we have to clear the air. There's no such thing as I don't have time. There's no such thing as my metabolism is too slow, or this just won't work for me. The truth is you don't need amazing genetics like I've showed you to have an insane transformation. You don't need to do crazy amounts of cardio, and you don't need to feel hungry all day in order to achieve the body you rightfully deserve. If you want to be the person that effectively burns fat and builds muscle at the same time, I personally will show you how to navigate all the issues I've just mentioned, how I personally went from 125 to 210. You're going to replicate my process but make it effective for you. And I'm gonna show you how my clients do the same, all of them. And like I said, you don't have to give up any of the things you already love or replace your life with an entirely new system. You just have to optimize what you're doing right now. Once optimized, you can repeat that process for years to come for endless transformations, but you're simply one step away. The Peak Performance Protocol system, something that I built through my own trial and error and development from the past 5 years, helping others get in the best shapes of their lives. Now I'm not just some influencer. I'm actually an in-person coach. I've worked with people one-on-one, countless hours and countless days in person with them to get them to where they want to be. And now I'm taking that service online. And I've decided to break down everything that I do for you in this video and in my program. These are some of my recent real client wins and client messages. And you can pause and read them if you want to. I'm out here changing people's lives because this is what I feel like I was brought on this earth to do. I went through all of those hardships and understood the ups and downs of both sides of being skinny and overweight so I could project that onto other people and help them. In the following steps, I'm actually going to dig in and outline from point A to point Z exactly what I did and all those people did to accomplish their goals. Like I said, without giving up any of the things that you love. I'm going to break down the blueprint for you right now. This is obviously depending on your current level. This is one-on-one coaching with me. No one's program will be the same, and no one's meal plan and macros will be the same either. First, we're going to start with the foundation phase. In the foundation phase, no matter where you are, we're going to work towards minimum effective volume, or as you can see here, MEV, and focus on building a solid foundation because without a solid foundation, you can't build the house. We are going to work on a higher or maintenance food intake, and your calories will be at either maintenance or higher, and put you into the prime state for muscular hypertrophy. This will build the foundation for what I call the fat loss phase or the sculpting phase. So in phase 2, it'll be 49 to 56 days of fat loss. We'll work towards approaching the maximum effective volume now because we'll be at a lower food intake, having to make up for that. We'll focus more on carb timing and focus on getting the most out of your workouts while being in a calorie deficit to drop body fat. If you don't know what a calorie deficit is, it's basically that your body is eating less calories than you're currently burning right now. So instead of in a surplus where you're storing those extra calories as body fat, your body will simply take away the fat that you have now. That is a calorie deficit. I know most of you probably know that, but in case you didn't, my program is for people from all levels. So I'll break down all concepts for you. Now let me show you how I just implemented what I just said into Jake, TJ, and Chris's life. How I helped them stop being held back by mistakes they frankly didn't even know they were making. This is how they finally lost that fluff and got ripped. It's not rocket science. Let's start with training, nutrition, and accountability. For training, optimal form and progressively overloading is our main focus in the first few months. Going again from MEV, minimum effective volume, to maximum recoverable volume. This will not only reduce fatigue and ensure that it's fun and sustainable, but this will also stop you from topping out and getting diminishing returns in your gains. We'll do the meat and potato moves the first 12 weeks, meaning just your basics, but optimized to be the best they can be, and the side dish movements every 6 weeks. Because more rest actually equals more gains. You don't grow in the gym, You grow when you sleep in your bed and you eat protein. And that is how Jake did this year. He was literally begging me not to change his workout splits because they were working so effectively with his current body and structure and what he liked. Let's move on to nutrition. TJ was able to track his macros and calories every single day until he didn't even need to anymore. So you have the option with me to keep tracking or actually phase off of tracking, which is something that not a lot of fitness coaches offer. This is done with a core set of high fiber and protein foods, tracking those meals beforehand, and then just repeating those same meals, not having to actually manually log them. But in the program, you'll actually get a fully fleshed out grocery list for cutting and bulking in the entire program itself that you can keep afterwards. Full nutrition master list breaking down all the things I know about nutrition through my 5 years of coaching. Low calorie, high protein recipes that I used to cut, and foods that quite frankly make it feel like you're cheating on your diet when it's not even really a diet. Balanced planning, so 80% whole and healthy foods, 20% of whatever you want. This is called flexible nutrition. This is how I ensure that my clients stay consistent, because TJ, having to lose 60 pounds, did not do that by eating chicken and rice all day. He did that by eating less of what he was already eating, but still enjoying and indulging in those bad foods. But in reality, the portion sizes of his healthy and bad foods were the problem. So we first worked on implementing foods that kept him more satiated. And once we were able to do that, he was able to drop 60 pounds and 20% of his body fat consistently. And you can see here, he wrote that it was changing his life. Now, accountability, this may seem like the cookie cutter end of the program. This is actually the most important part, and some people will bat an eye when I say that. Every single weight you're doing in my app is tracked. Every single calorie you eat, depending on whether you want to stick with the tracking, is also logged. Your stress and quality habits are also logged and tracked. What we're doing is formulating data to describe why you are where you are right now, and then optimizing that data to get you to where you want to be. You get 24/7 support from me with anything going on in your life. It doesn't even have to just be about the gym, whether it's sleep or supplementation. I've actually even helped my clients through tax season. I'm not even joking when I say that, but that's besides the point. With the weekly official check-ins that I offer, I'm going to be able to see exactly how your progress is going and exactly how it's trending. I'll then send you a video back, and we'll be able to discuss exactly what's happening and what's working and what's not for you. It's an ever-changing process. That is why Chris right here valued my accountability so much, because not only was he able to drop 23 pounds and 10% body fat, but he mentioned the mental side of my help, whether it came to his morning routine or his nighttime routine or his work schedule, helped him almost more than the training and nutrition. Now let's talk about what this looks like inside the P3 program itself. During that priming phase of MEV that we talked about, minimum effective volume, we'll be focusing on building that foundation. We want quality over quantity. We don't want to burn you out at the start. That's why you haven't been able to stick with the programs you've done in the past. Putting on 25 pounds like this image right here is not easy. It definitely wasn't started with 6 training days a week. Nutritionally, we're going to start with that higher food intake I mentioned, depending on the situation, so you don't hit a point of diminishing returns and have to do any crazy cuts and bulks. I want consistency and I want sustainability. I'm not going to tell you to eat anything you don't want to eat, because I want you to be in this for the long game. As you can see, my guy Caden right here, only 3 weeks in, says the gym doesn't even feel like a chore anymore. Then when we get into the sculpting phase where we're going to drop body fat, we'll talk about how we're going to shred. Approaching maximum recoverable volume, we will push strength and gains as much as we can with a little bit less food, packing on muscle and trying to maximize our efforts in the gym. This is really how we lose fat and gain muscle at the exact same time. When it comes to dropping those stubborn love handles and muffin tops and bellies, it's got to come down to that caloric deficit, which I'm going to help you dial in a way that seems very sustainable and repeatable. That slight deficit is going to make it so that the body fat will drop sustainably and slowly while increasing your own basal metabolic rate by putting on muscle. That means we're going to artificially create a deficit for ourselves. You will be building muscle, increasing the amount of calories you burn, and we will be dropping those calories ever so slightly, creating this newly made artificial deficit for yourself that feels sustainable. This is where we will get to that desired body fat that we want for life, and you get to make that decision of how lean that is. That's the beauty of this P3 program. This program is meant to peel away at the unnecessary fat that you have on your body, build aesthetic quality muscle, and also get stronger while teaching you the principles to repeat this progress after the process. As you can see, all of my clients here have been doing that, even months after I get messages that the P3 program has changed their life. And for my guys here that are watching this, it was more than worth it for them. From looking and feeling better than they ever have in their lives, to getting countless recognition from friends, even exes, and proving to themselves what their true potential actually was. It was so valuable to them that they didn't even want to look back. They have now ever since made more money, more strides in their jobs and school, and unlocked that domino effect of true potential in all areas of their life by starting with fitness. In fact, I'm going to show you Chris's transformation in the middle, 1.5 years after joining P3. As you can see, he's clearly gotten substantially leaner in his midsection and gained even more muscle when that wasn't even his goal to begin with. His goal was to get more athletic and faster, but during the P3 program, he was able to pack on lean and effective muscle and keep losing that body fat. I don't want to pressure you, but this is clearly proof of a repeatable system long-term, even after my one-on-one help. In my humble opinion, if I had to spread one message to the world, it would be this: creating the physique that you want from scratch, from the ground up, can truly be the base for helping you realize what you are truly capable of in all areas of your life. Because in the gym, you get exactly out of it what you put in. So now that you hopefully understand how my unique process works with people and my unique way of doing it, I have an offer for you. If you're still watching this video and you're skinny fat or overweight, you have a belly or a soft exterior that you're not proud of, you're tired of living in the body that you hate and not achieving your full potential, and you're ready to lose body fat and gain muscle at the same exact time, get the physique of your true potential, and finally find the system that works for you for the rest of your life, I personally will help you lose 10 to 15% of your body fat, gain muscle and strength without giving up any of the foods that you love like burgers and pizza in the next 90 days. And this is without spending endless hours in the gym or hours wasted on cardio. And the beauty of all this is if it doesn't work for you, I'll give you a full refund immediately and $50. Go get yourself a nice large Domino's pizza. Now you've seen the results. The only question left is, are you ready to win? If you made it this far, thank you for tuning into the video. Thank you for watching. This is my first ever video, and I try to drop as much value as I could to show you guys why not only your dream physique is possible, but it's fewer steps away than you actually think. And I not only wanted to show you guys how I help TJ, Chris, and Jake with the P3 Peak Performance Protocol, but also how I've just been helping all my clients with it. I'm extremely blessed and in a great position to be able to help these young men get their dream physiques and achieve the bodies they've always deserved but never knew how to achieve. And if this is something you feel like you really want to do, if this is something you want to utilize to change your life and you want to be the best version of yourself, book a call below and I'll help you with the Peak Performance Protocol. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless.